Welcome to Sports Talk with Steve Jones, the daily talk show with the voice of Penn State football and men's basketball. You never know what special guest may stop on by any given day. Now here's the man of the hour, Mr. Steve Jones.
All right, great to have you with us on the show. This is Penn State Day at Big Ten Media Days. The last coach up today will be James Franklin. That'll be about, I think it's 2:45 Eastern time.
Something like that. So we got a couple hours.
Yeah. Look, you will learn nothing today. Story on chaos in the NFLPA. I'm kind of shocked. I think anybody here in the building could have written it. All right, but that's okay. But you should learn nothing today. Other than, well, no, you won't even learn that.
I'm guessing we won't learn about pretty much anything. He'll probably just say it's James Franklin. James Franklin is notoriously really good at not going too in-depth about anything.
But, Kyle, there's nothing anybody can say.
I know.
What have we learned?
That's the point. You don't need to learn
because
anything.
Nobody's been practicing.
Yeah.
I mean, they've done some informal workouts, but nobody's been practicing.
Also, we kind of have an idea of everything. Like, Penn State really isn't coming in here with a lot of question marks. Like, we know who the quarterback is. We know who the running backs are.
But the question is, who's the backup?
Yeah.
That decision is still a month away.
We'll find that out, August 30th? Is that opening day?
No, I think... All right, well, I guess maybe, I think everybody will find out August 30th.
Yeah, we'll find out officially August 30th who the backup is based on what is listed depth chart-wise. That's when we'll find out.
I would say
so we got time.
that we'll have a good idea watching camp every day. Let's say 10 days before the opener.
So August 20th, we'll know.
Well, no, you may not know.
Yeah.
And you know what? It may be something that goes into the season a little bit. I don't know. It depends on how it all plays out. So now, but the story yesterday, sure, Mike Loxley lost his team. Okay, I got that. Yeah, I understand that. So that's newsworthy. I know Curt Cignetti threw a couple of shots yesterday at the SEC.
As Curt Cignetti does, as per usual.
Look, Curt Cignetti is not a young coach.
No.
Okay? He is in his early 60s. He has been around the block. He's coached in a lot of different places. And Tuesday, now Indiana did cancel a series with Virginia, by the way. It's from the ACC. And he made light of how a number of SEC programs have scheduled FCS teams and Group of Five programs for years now. Said that was a scheduling philosophy that I began before I was hired. He said, but I did not sign off on it upon being hired before our first season. Look, here's the bottom line. We picked up an extra home game, and we play 9 conference games, the 2 best conferences in college football. He says, any football guy that is objective will tell you it's the Big Ten and the SEC. 12 to 16 SEC teams play 3 G5 games or an FCS game. 12 of those teams play 36 games. 29 G5 games, 1 less conference game. So we figured we'd just adopt the SEC scheduling philosophy. Some people don't like it. I'm more focused on those 9 conference games. All right. Now, and Penn State has an FCS game this year. And they have a Group of 5 game. In fact, they have 2 Group of 5 games. Okay. And then, of course, the 9 conference games. That's what, in all fairness, that's what Penn State has. But the SEC, coddled by ESPN, and they are coddled. Okay, I mean, they have a contract with them. They don't want to, they don't want to upset their partner. But they get to that next to the last week of the season, where several of the schools are playing FCS programs. Right? See, my issue is not that you play Mercer. That is not the issue. at all. If you want to play Mercer in September, I have no issue. None. Zero. Zip. Zilch. But when the College Football Playoff Committee is grading teams as to where they fit in the 12-team playoff, and you schedule that game deliberately in the middle of it where nobody can make any kind of judgment about who you are, I'm sorry. I've got a big problem with that. And I've had a big problem with that for years. That everybody else is out there playing conference games. You're out playing that game. Really? If you play it in September or even October, I don't care. That's fine, because at that point, they are not doing polling for the college football playoff at all. Now you're doing it. And I've said for years that if you were number one, if Alabama were number one, and then they played Mercer, which they've done, I would have deliberately in my poll dropped them to 5, and then got on the air and looked at everybody and said, well, why'd you drop them to 5? Well, I dropped them to 5 because they played Mercer this week. I said, the other teams went out and played legitimate teams. They deliberately scheduled somebody that we couldn't make a judgment on, so I dropped them to 5. That doesn't mean I can't move them back to 1 next week after they beat Auburn. Okay? Doesn't mean I can't.
Yeah.
But I'd send the message out and everybody go, whoa, what's going on here? Because you're deliberately scheduling a game that is perceived to be a walkover during a time when judgments are being made as to who should be in or out. Right? So that's always been why I talked about that. I could care less if Curt Cignetti drops Virginia. Right? That's fine. I think that if the SEC and the Big Ten can come to some agreement on the SEC going to 9 conference games, the 2 conferences playing each other in a Big Ten SEC type of challenge, right, where because of 4 automatic qualifiers, you would not have as much risk with a loss. It would be intriguing for college football. Now, the big news, of course, was Tony Petitti, who yesterday got up there and explained his stance. People, I always love this X doubles down, doubles. Just knock it off. Okay, I hate this double down thing. It's like that's simplistic journalistic junk. Okay, I can't stand that. Okay, all right. Tony, just say he continues to maintain his stance. Okay, well, that's his stance. Now I see what he. Now, am I big on you earning a spot? Absolutely. I don't want people being handed a spot. What he is proposing, essentially, is 4 automatic qualifiers, and that to get to qualifiers 3 and 4 in the Big Ten, not for everybody else.
Big Ten and then SEC the same?
No.
Just Big Ten.
No. In other words, this is how we'll do championship weekend. Okay? This is how we'll do it. Okay. Because the ACC has talked about, hey, if they get 2, they may have 2 play 3. That's fine. In other words, make it a play-in weekend. Last year, and I know we talked about this yesterday, but Arizona State, Iowa State was a play-in game. The champion was in. The loser was not going to be in. SMU, Clemson, okay. Clemson loses, they're out. Clemson won, they got the automatic bid. SMU had done enough to maintain and thus get in. They played Penn State here. Okay. Texas played Georgia. Okay, the winner was going to get a bye. The loser is going to have to play a first-round home game. Oregon played Penn State. Winner was going to get a bye. Loser was going to get a home game. Okay. And that's how the conference championship games played out. Now, the group of 5 is always a different proposition. You're always going to have to win your way in.
Yes. Always.
So last year, Boise State beat UNLV in the Mountain West Championship game at home. Right? Which is fine. I mean, that conference should not be playing a neutral site game for for its championship game, and that's how Boise State got in. They won their game against UNLV.
They won and got in.
Right. But for the Big Ten and the SEC, that's not the two teams that, the four schools that played in those two championship games were all four were in, right? As the bus is driving over to the building at Lucas Oil Stadium, and the buses are driving over to Mercedes-Benz Dome, all four of those teams in the buses were already in and knew they were playing another game, and it wasn't going to be the Outback Bowl. Okay? It was just a question of who'd be the champion, which pride matters. Okay? You're going to play the thing, might as well win the darn thing. Because both games ended up being great games.
Yeah.
Right? Very entertaining games. But everybody knew that they were in. There was when the game was over with Penn State, there was no mystery. There was no need to campaign about them being in. It was just, hey, just tell us who's going to be showing up at Beaver Stadium. So what he is proposing is this. Let's take championship weekend and make it a little more intriguing. Teams 1 and 2, you're going to get a bye. 3 will play 6. Now this opens, in his mind, in the month of September, opens up the door for more teams to have stakes in the month of November with games.
It is essentially doing what we've seen, and I understand it's a gimmick, the playing in the NBA, but it's what they wanted to have happen, which is all of a sudden, not just the top 8 teams are playing for it, but all of a sudden 9, 10, and even 11 in the NBA standings on each side are trying to play in. It means all of a sudden Team 11 is not just outright tanking, because in the case of the Thunder, when they got Chris Paul for a year, they got into the play-in and played a game. And it's valuable to get one playoff game if you're young Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, because all of a sudden you find yourself in NBA Finals, helps having a little extra experience.
Sure.
So all of a sudden more teams are playing their way in to try and find something. And any experience is good experience.
Well, Miami, for example, when Denver won the championship, Miami had to play the play-in round. I think they were the 8th seed going in anyway. They had to play their way in. In the play-in round, well, they took the play-in round and got to the finals. Okay.
It's the same thing here with.
We talked about that. We talked about that with baseball. 2014, the Kansas City Royals played the San Francisco Giants. They both had to win the one-game playoff to win. So they had both teams in the World Series. The Royals beat the A's, and of course the Giants, Bumgarner, shut out the Pirates. And that's something that's been added in. The NHL hasn't done it, nor are they going to do it. They've got 16 teams already. That doesn't appear they're going to do it. The NFL has expanded to 7 playoff teams, on each side, so 14 overall. So now you have college football. So he wants to take that day and have 3 play 6, 4 play 5. Well, no offense, but with all due respect to Indianapolis, which is a great, great host, play the games at home.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, have them be home games. Now, if you're the Big Ten, if you were the Big Ten or the SEC, so let's take both of them here. Now, let's say the SEC adopts the same thing, just for the sake of argument here. You've got 18 schools in this conference. You are guaranteed, in all likelihood, unless based on a typical season. How about that? Let's just go on a typical season.
Go for it.
Based on a typical season, you are guaranteed to have 2 out of 4 of these teams in there. Penn State, Ohio State, Michigan, or Oregon. Because only 2 can get the bye. So you're guaranteed in a typical year, to have 2 of your blockbuster teams, ratings-wise, in these games. If you're the SEC, Texas, Georgia, Alabama, LSU,
Oklahoma,
right?
Heck, chuck them in.
Okay, you're guaranteed only 2 of those teams would get buys. You're guaranteed to have a Florida. Okay, you're guaranteed to have two of your blockbuster rating teams in those games because only two get the bye. And they're not. The SEC is not a two-school conference. The Big Ten is not a two-school conference. Okay? The ACC is. Okay? In fact, you can argue the ACC is a one-school conference.
Yeah.
And the Big 12 is, I don't care. I mean, I'll watch the Big 12 championship game when it comes up, but there is no blockbuster school in that conference. None. Right? As I've said many times, I give the Big 12 an A+ for survival, absolute A+. Okay? But they get a C+ for growth. Membership. I mean, you're telling me that those schools replace Texas and Oklahoma? Really?
They don't have a very high ceiling.
No.
That's how we'll put it.
Right. The ACC, okay, it's not a question of survival, but they downgraded their conference by adding Cal and Stanford.
Yeah.
I mean, they did. You can get all, they're great. They won the Learfield Cup. Okay, there are no parades for the Learfield Cup.
No.
Every time I see that argument by somebody who wants to add Stanford to the Big Ten, I sit there and go, what? Are you out of your mind? Like, okay. But that's where they are. At the moment, the ACC is a one-school conference. I know SMU won it last year, but it's still the Clemson show. It still is. We'll find out if SMU can bounce back this year. Jennings is back at quarterback. They had a lot of guys back. SMU is going to be a good team.
By the way, quickly on Jennings, he said, quote unquote, it is a revenge season. You lost to Penn State. Are you trying to get revenge for losing to a team that's better?
I know what he's talking about. He's talking about Clemson.
Yeah.
Because Clemson won the game in Charlotte. That's what he's talking about. I don't think he's talking about the playoff. That'd be my guess. It's ACC Media Day.
He said it's a revenge tour after they dropped their last two games. So he's saying because the Clemson-Penn State loss combined,
fine. That's fine.
Season.
If things don't work out in terms of winning the championship, you can bring the bus back up here. It's fine.
Yeah.
Right? You will still lose.
He said... the lesson from that experience, said safety Isaiah Nwokobia, is that SMU wasn't outclassed by either Clemson nor Penn State. We were not outclassed by them whatsoever.
Yeah, you were. Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. Remember how they got their last touchdown. Penn State's backups were in the game.
Yes.
It was it 35-7?
It was 35-3.
35-3.
Yeah. Because Penn State had, 4 interceptions? 5 interceptions in the game? How many was it? DeLuca had 2.
4.
Or Rojas.
Rojas had 1. One and Dom had 2.
Yeah. Normal game.
Right. But it was 35-3. And Ethan Grunkemeyer threw an interception.
How dare he? How dare he, Steve?
Right. And they had a 20-yard field to work with. Okay. Outclassed. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. The better. Okay. Let me put it this way. It is safe to say on December 21st, 2024, in Beaver Stadium, the better team won.
Can confirm.
So we're done. Okay. Now it's adorable to say that if that's your motivation, the whole thing, blah, 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 blah. So Tony Petitti, what's interesting about this is that what you and I just talked about, about there would be a better than average chance of blockbuster teams being in that 3-6-4-5. This is where the immaturity of some people covering the game don't think that way, right? So they said Iowa, Illinois, Mississippi State, Texas A&M games for 4th place in the league. Well, who says Mississippi State's going to play Texas A&M?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it could be Alabama playing somebody.
Yeah.
Okay, again, only 2 get buys. So let's just say it's Georgia and Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Who's left? I don't know. Alabama, Florida, Texas A&M, Oklahoma, LSU. They could all be in it. Okay, this guy writes it as if Vanderbilt's going to make it. Like, maybe they will, but who are they going to play? It's not going to be Vanderbilt against Kentucky.
No.
Okay? In a typical year. Now, could Iowa make it? Sure they could. Could Illinois make it? Sure they could. Could USC make it?
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Yeah. Why not?
Okay? So let's go back.
Could Rutgers make it? No.
See,
Sorry, I
that's
want to throw a
the difference
shot.
between you and me. You're cruel. I mean,
I'm cruel.
okay. Well, let's look at last year's Big Ten football standings.
Go for it.
So let's just tell you okay. So we know Ohio State would be in it,
Yes.
right? And we know Indiana would be in it.
Yes.
Okay. So Ohio State and Indiana would have been in it, and each one would have hosted.
Mm-hmm.
So it would have been Ohio State would have played Michigan
Mm-hmm.
in a rematch, and Iowa would have played Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
So you would have had an Ohio State-Michigan game to get into the playoff, and it would have been a blockbuster.
You forgot about Penn State. You had
No, Penn State
would have qualified.
Penn State.
Would have, yeah.
Okay, basically,
Sorry.
okay.
Yeah.
Oregon and Penn State played
Yeah.
in the championship
Right.
game. So those were the top 2 seeds.
And then Indiana.
Okay. So, actually, Indiana
Yeah.
would have played, my apologies.
Yeah, Indiana would have played Iowa.
Indiana would have played Iowa, and Ohio State would have played Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So you would have had Ohio State in one of those games.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yeah.
Ohio State would have been one of those games. Indiana would have played Illinois, and Ohio State would have played Iowa.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that makes our point.
Mm-hmm.
So now let's get to the SEC standings. Let's say they had, okay, Big10.org, the heck with you.
24 SEC.
Standings. Okay, boom, go. And the SEC 2024 standings. All right, so Texas and Georgia 1-2. Tennessee would have been 3.
Mm-hmm.
Tennessee would have played Alabama.
What a game.
Okay?
That'd have been a fun one.
Now, there are tiebreakers here, so I don't know. I don't know what the tiebreakers say.
But pick whoever's.
Okay? I don't know what the tiebreakers say because you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 schools that are 5 and 3.
You would have had Tennessee versus you would have had Tennessee versus South Carolina.
Okay.
Ole Miss versus Alabama.
Okay. So
based on 3 versus 6, 4 versus 5.
So now you've got Tennessee and Alabama playing in separate games that are both blockbuster rating schools.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I mean, and that's, like I said, I don't know what the tiebreaker.
But what about the ACC? You would have had Clemson versus Miami, Steve. If the ACC had 4 schools, you know who would have been in it?
Well, definitely not Florida State.
If they had, you call me cruel.
What? I'm just saying that's an absolute.
If they had 4 schools, if the ACC had 4 schools play in some sort of playoff thing to get in.
Yeah, but see, again, they're only talking about they only get 2 bids.
I know, which makes me mad because you know who would have been in it.
2 would have played 3.
It would have been Clemson versus Miami, but that makes me sad because it means Syracuse would have lost out because they lost to Stanford.
Hey, your school voted to add them.
I know, but if Syracuse was in it, it would have been really fun because, of course, Kyle McCord was slinging the ball around. They beat Miami. It would have been great. They would have been knocked out. It would have been really cool. Whatever. And may I say real fast?
Let me put it this way. Syracuse has made tremendous strides in just 2 years.
They have. May I say something?
Yes.
Mr. Jones? When you think of the color orange, What school do you think of?
Orange?
Yeah.
Tennessee.
Tennessee. It was National Emoji Day like a week ago, and Tennessee was like, when you think of this emoji, who do you think of most? And it was the orange they put up there, and every comment was just Syracuse. Tennessee fans are like, no, we think of Tennessee. Tennessee's the real orange team. And every Syracuse fan is like, our mascot is a literal orange. Our name is the Syracuse Orange.
I know, but I'm saying, you asked me who I thought of.
Yeah, I think of Syracuse.
There's nothing wrong with that. You can think of Clemson, too.
Yeah, Tennessee's a dumb orange color.
Oh, jeez.
And anyone who says Texas is an orange, that's a burnt orange. That is not the same.
No,
Get out of here.
That is burnt orange.
It's like when I think of blue, I would think of a Duke before I'd think of North Carolina. That's Tar Heel blue, different color. Get it out of here.
I think of Penn State.
Yeah, I think of Penn State. I think
now
of
it's
Duke,
interesting when you think of red. See, USC's Cardinal.
Yes.
Cardinal and gold, which is a great color scheme, by the way. It really is.
Yeah.
But they're Cardinal. I don't think of them as red.
Red is Ohio State.
Yeah, Indiana, Ohio State, sure.
Yeah. Scarlet.
Wisconsin,
Nebraska, I guess.
I mean, I don't think of Rutgers.
No, they're scarlet. That's a different thing.
It's a different deal.
Scarlet's a different color. That's a whole different ball game.
Well, Indiana's scarlet and cream.
And you know who we don't think of, Steve? Florida State.
That's Garnet.
It is good.
Garnet.
Speaking of former...
Darn it, Garnet.
Yeah. I would like to bring up a fun thing. Or not a fun thing, but a thing. We have been
by the way, I'm not endorsing one playoff plan over another. I'm just explaining what he is talking about.
Yes, you're explaining what he's talking about.
Right, so,
the list of retirements has come up in the NFL as of late because a lot of players have been announcing their retirements.
Tyrann Mathieu,
Mathieu's the latest.
Tyrann Mathieu, I know you're going to go through the list here, but I just want to quickly say one thing about football is if you have two elements that make you great. One is, of course, your own athleticism. That's no question about that. The other part is that separates you from other people who are also great athletes is your mind. Tyrann Mathieu, on the football field, his instincts, his mind, he always was around plays because he saw plays and he believed what he was seeing. And I just thought he was a marvelous on-the-field player.
He was who I wanted because he, of course, retired yesterday. He was one of two Saints to retire yesterday. We'll get to the other one in a second. But the retirements off-season are quite incredible. Like, if you took this team in their prime, that would be a pretty good team. You'd have Phillip Rivers and Derek Carr at quarterback, or you'd have no running backs. Julio Jones and Mike Williams, wide receivers. Jimmy Graham, officially retired, the tight end. Guards, you'd have Zach Martin, John Feliciano. You'd have David Andrews, Mitch Morse, Frank Ragnow, centers. Tyron Smith, Terran Armstead, Ryan Ramczyk, Jason Peters at tackles. The defense, you'd have Ndamukong Suh, Michael Pierce. You'd have C.J. Mosley at linebacker, Brandon Graham, Sam Hubbard, Patrick Peterson, Micah Hyde, Tyrann Mathieu, Keanu Neal. Like, you'd have an incredible list of players who have retired this season. For me, 4 Saints have retired, which is really weird to think about. Of course, Carr, Graham, Ramczyk, Armstead, and then Mathieu as well. So 5 Saints. So
Ramczyk's one of the better offensive linemen the league has seen in the last 20 years.
He was incredible. Him and Terran Armstead, that Saints 2017 team with those two at tackle, incredible.
We're seeing 2 elements here. Number one, age plays into it. I mean, Jimmy Graham's been around for 200 years, so it's time to...
Phillip Rivers.
Right. Phillip Rivers was there for, I mean, he came in the same year as Eli Manning, and Manning retired before he did. But there's also another part that you've got a few younger guys that are getting out of it, where they got their rookie contract, they got their second-year contract. Second-year contract's the one that gets you on the pathway to being set for life. I mean, now you can... I mean, I've talked to a couple of guys. I'm not going to get into names. But when they got the second contract, they said, because Jack and I will talk to the players, they'll come back and they say, "Oh man, it feels so much better now. I can just concentrate on football."
Yeah.
Right. And that's the second contract. And now we're talking about the Watts and so forth, trying to get they did get a third contract.
And what's the year length it takes to get to the benefits? I know in certain leagues, a certain amount of years, and you get certain benefits unlocked. I know, Tears Up.
I think in the NFL, I think in the NFL, you play 4. You're on the benefit package.
Okay, that's what it was.
Now it goes up.
Yeah.
Every year as to what percentage of the benefits you get.
Yeah. It starts at the base level. And I know NBA, I think it's 8. I think is it 8 or 10 years of MLB service gets you the gold card to go to any game?
Yeah.
So, continue. Sorry.
Oh, no. I think you've got some guys in there that were second contract guys. Mm-hmm. And look, you get beat up playing this. Mm-hmm. You just get beat up. And, you hit an off season. And one of the important elements of an off season is, do I miss it? Mm-hmm. And if you find yourself not missing it, and you find yourself not anxious to get back to it, you should retire. Mm-hmm. Because monetarily, you've done well. If you've invested it well, or you've saved it, whatever you've been able to do, in other words, you haven't blown it, right? You should be in a really good position to, as Chuck Noll would say, get on with your life's work. But that's what I think is interesting. The usual suspects, the older guys, a Phillip Rivers, a Jimmy Graham, look,
Dominican Sue's
been there for a long time. I think Matthew's only 32, right?
Tyrann Mathieu he's
only 32, isn't he? Something like that.
33.
33. I mean,
he just turned 33.
After a while, maybe you feel like you've lost a step, and because you've lost a step, now you're getting hit more, right? And you, again, if you hit an off season and you aren't missing it, and I mean, even in a small way, there's a part of me that maybe you ought to think about retiring, because you get the living daylights beaten out of you on every single play. I mean, there are cars out of the game, not because of age.
Injury.
There are cars out of the game because he got beat up.
That was the same thing with Ryan Ramczyk. Ramczyk's 31. He had enough injuries. He was like, I just need to.
I mean, one of the better things that ever happened to Derek's older brother, David Carr, was after getting the daylights beaten out of him as the first overall pick for the Houston Texans ever. Look, that's an expansion team. He got beat up, but he has a Super Bowl ring. Why? Because what really allowed him to keep on going was suddenly he became a backup quarterback to Eli Manning with the Giants. And guess what? He didn't have to get beat up.
Yep.
Right? And it allowed him to extend his career a little bit further and do what he needed to do. Because early in his career, he knew every ceiling tile at the NRG Dome. He knew every one of them. Like NRG Stadium. Yep. Okay. Yeah. Well, that one's got a hole. That one's got. He was always looking up. You got and that's hard. The game is so difficult, right? So difficult. Then there's the other part too. That's also difficult. And this is the hardest one of all. Is your skills erode because it happens with age. And do I know it? Hey, it happens in every business. It happens. Hey, look, it happens in what I do. Okay, and so
I know a lot of players have said they would rather retire going out on top. Like, I know Peyton Manning probably could have played another year. Probably. Yeah, but he said...
But Peyton Manning was also...
He was carried to the Super Bowl.
He was a shell of himself in that particular year. If you're ranking like quarterbacks just on Super Bowl performance, best to worst,
it was
his performance when he was the MVP against the Bears when the Colts won, he'd be right up there among the better ones.
And it's the Saints.
Right.
He was pretty good. Like,
Oh
played
yeah,
really
and
well
he
earlier.
played well, yeah, right. But when he played with the Broncos, that's one of the bottom 5 performances by a quarterback in a Super Bowl. Right. Now he won, so does it matter? It I mean, Tony Eason was the worst. He started and didn't complete a pass, and then he was replaced by Steve Grogan. But I'm saying that there's no way Manning should come back for another year after that. They won. Even if they lost, he shouldn't have come back. Just based on, hey, it's time. Okay? The mind can only do so much for you because Manning, so smart on the field. But you also have to have at least some semblance of physical tools to pull off what the mind is telling you to do. And he didn't, and that season, he got by.
Yeah.
Right? Especially the last half of the season, he got by. And that's and to his credit, he went out on top, Super Bowl champion. Yeah. And done. Let's take Brady, for example. I think I was talking with you yesterday about Belichick and about shelf life. Now, of course, he's been criticized about Brady. Okay, when the Bucs won the Super Bowl, Brady played very well. His next 2 years with Tampa Bay, how well did Brady play? He really didn't play that well.
He was okay.
All right, they got to the playoff game with the Rams, and Brady did not have a good game. Right, and actually that was right, and and what did he have? 600 attempts his last season. No, part of it is his offensive line was different. There are a whole bunch of things that are different. But you could also see in his performance that the last year and a half he played with Tampa really was not. He was no better than a middle of the pack quarterback in the league. Okay? After being the gold standard.
Yeah.
For 18 years. A gold standard 18 years. Okay, it'll take the rookie year out, so we'll say gold standard for 17 years. Right? I mean, right? That's not a knock on him.
Yeah.
He was the best of the best over a 17-year span, winning 7 Super Bowls, okay? That's phenomenal to do something like that. It's unbelievable. It's unprecedented. So it's okay to look at it around and say, last year and a half, he was a middle-of-the-pack quarterback in the NFL because he was.
Yeah.
And that's not knocking him. That's always, every time you come out with something that is logical, you really knocked him there. I didn't knock anybody. I just said he was the best for 17 years. The last year and a half, he was the middle of the pack. Okay. Yeah. Right? If he was still the best, he still would have kept playing.
You know what?
It's like he knew it.
Do you know what I enjoy? This is just a little thing for me. I always enjoy going back through old teams, like old college teams, and looking at the players on them. Yeah. And this is prompted by Tyrann Mathieu.
And by the way, Paul Posluszny is going to be here on Friday night with the Spikes.
Very nice.
His bobblehead. He's of course college football Hall of Famer. So please.
Speaking of just incredible players, this is prompted by Tyrann Mathieu. I was like, who was on Matthew's team his first year? I was like, I think he crossed over with Patrick Patterson, and he did. Or Patrick Peterson. So two of them both played together on that 2010 LSU team. Right. They also had the 6th overall pick, Morris Claiborne, in the defensive back room. So heck of a defensive back group. They also had Eric Reed, NFL player.
Yeah.
I just love going through teams like this and looking back. Barkevius Mingo was in the defensive line. You also had up here Michael Brockers, another incredible NFL player. You go on up from there, just NFL players across the board on some of these teams. It's always really just fun to go through it and look at it and be
Patrick Peterson. That was the 2010 Citrus Bowl. Penn State beat LSU in the slop down there in 1917, and the one Penn State touchdown was a 50-yard touchdown pass from Darrell Clark to Derek Moy, who on the play beat Patrick Peterson. I mean, he beat him.
Yeah.
He beat him by 3 or 4 yards.
Yeah. I just remember watching Patrick Peterson. I think was it his rookie year in the NFL? He returned like 3 or 4 punts.
I think he did, yeah.
It was just like, there are some players that I remember watching as a kid, and now I'm like, they're retiring. That's really weird. I don't like that. I don't like it, Steve. I feel old now.
No offense. I've had a whole life like that.
I know. But I am sitting here, like, especially with like soccer players, where they're coming in. When they started coming in, they were younger than I was, like Kylian Mbappe, or he's like 2 years younger than me. It's like, I don't like that. Like, Zion was my age. Zion is my age. He's a little bit younger than me, I think. And that was the first person I was like,
look,
oh, that's weird.
Penn State's had 15 basketball coaches in the history of the program.
Yes.
I would like to point out that I'm working on number 8. So,
oh boy.
James Franklin, by the way, is 3:45 today.
3:45 today. So
PJ Fleck starts at 2:30. David Braun of Northwestern at 2:45. Luke Fickle of Wisconsin at 3. Dan Lanning of Oregon at 3:15. Jed Fish of Washington at 3:30. And James Franklin goes last at 3:45.
Speaking of players who are on incredible teams, Terry McLaurin is another one of the holdouts going on in the NFL. He did not show up to Commanders training camp because he is frustrated with the negotiations. Okay. He'll be fined $50,000 for each day he misses. He has 1 year left on a 3-year, $68 million extension. He has seen some deals happen this offseason. Of course, T. Higgins, 4 years, $115. DK Metcalf, 4 years, $132. Garrett Wilson, 4 years, $130. Wilson got the most guaranteed money there with $90 million. So I'm assuming McLaurin wants something similar to what Garrett Wilson got, a 4-year, $130-ish number.
Let me put it this way. McLaurin's had a better career than Garrett Wilson and has not had, for the most part, he had Kirk Cousins for a while, but has not had a top-level quarterback throwing him the football, yet still turns out great performances. That's why having him out there with
Jaden
Daniels is intriguing for Washington and makes them a real threat to Philadelphia in the NFC East.
He turns 30 in September, but he's still got years left. He's still incredible. We saw it last year. He is incredible for them.
All right. I mean, when a guy hits, what's McLaurin now going to be 30?
He's 29 right now, turning 30.
You know, it's interesting. At Ohio State, he was, for the most part, just a good player. Right? Last season he was very good, right? But you look at like what he's done in the NFL, he's been phenomenal. Now, again, it's going to be a question in the mind of Washington about the shelf life. If I give him 4 years, well, he's going to be, 34, 35 when it's done.
Yeah.
That's when you start to get a little like, okay,
and that's when you do I guarantee the first 2 to 3 years, and then the last 2 are non-guaranteed. That's what he's probably looking at. But I'm assuming he's sitting here saying, cool, I'm not going to come. Have fun trying to replace me. Like, I'm still the best receiver on this team as of right now. I mean, look at the Commanders roster, if I can pull it on up real quick. Their current depth chart at receiver, they, of course, traded for Deebo Samuel this offseason. So their receiving core is Deebo Samuel, Luke McCaffrey, Michael Gallup, and Noah Brown. Noah Brown is just finally off of the injury list, so he's hopefully back soon. But Terry McLaurin is the best guy on that list. He's better than Deebo Samuel. He's better than Noah Brown. He's better than Luke McCaffrey. He's better than Michael Gallup. He's better than all of these guys.
Right, exactly.
He is the best receiver on that team.
Yeah.
He's also probably the best skill position player on that team. He's the second best player on offense, not named Jaden Daniels. So,
I mean, he's the guy that he's the guy. If you go into the game, so let's take the Belichick rule again.
Yes.
Okay, who's your best player? What can we do to make life for the best player miserable? Well, McLaurin would be that guy in Washington you'd be looking at saying, okay, what can we do to make his life miserable where he's not a factor? Where now I'm going to make these other people beat me. Right? Well, if anybody has that kind of respect, that kind of person deserves, has earned themselves, not just deserves. I mean, deserves is a word that's used.
He's earned.
It's about earning your stuff, not deserving.
He's earned a contract in the same ballpark as what those other guys have, where he's sitting here and he's like, well, I see these 4-year, $110 to $130 million deals being handed out. I would like that. Thank you very much.
Right.
And respectfully, like, that's not the craziest amount of money to pay like when it comes to receivers, you're seeing these numbers, even for a Jamar Chase or a Justin Jefferson, where they're astronomical.
Yeah.
You can pay McLaurin 4 years, 125, give him $75 million guaranteed. The first 2 years are guaranteed, the next 2 are not.
Right.
Not terrible.
No, but he's looking. Again, McLaurin would be going into his 3rd contract.
Yes.
Okay. This is the 2nd contract is the critical one. This is the one that sets you up for the rest of your life. So, and I think he knows the offense.
I think he does.
I don't think it matters he's in training camp.
And you know who likes Terry McLaurin? I'm just going to guess.
Jaden Daniels.
Jaden Daniels.
Yep.
And he would like to keep Terry McLaurin. Thank you very much. Another piece of news that came out yesterday of the Big Ten Media Day was brought up, the quarterback situation in Ohio State. I want to get your thoughts if you've seen any of these guys, of the Julian Sayin, Lincoln Kienholz, and true freshman Tavian St. Clair.
Never have seen any one of them do anything except take snaps in the pregame warm-up.
Take snap, or take a knee with no time on the clock left at the end of the game.
I'm talking about like in person. No,
Yeah.
I mean, no, I've never seen any of them play. I didn't bother watching the Scarlet and Gray game this year. It doesn't mean anything to me.
No.
So I don't know. The difference is, though, that instead of coming out of the gate, and with all due respect, I'm not okay. They're not going open with Miami of Ohio. Okay, I say that with respect, or Toledo, right? And then you play Texas. They're opening up with Texas.
Yes.
So whomever they pick in the preseason is going to have to be the guy that they think gives them the best chance to win the Texas game.
As of right now, it looks like it's going to be Julian Sayin, based on what all reports are looking like.
That's
but
right.
Again,
that's right.
We got time.
No, and I agree with that. He would have been the first person I would have said because he has been in the heir apparent spot for a while. One quick note, though, about that is Ohio State, which we know has money, did not go out and go transfer portal to get a quarterback.
They prioritized the guys they had over the portal.
Yes. So maybe that's an indication of what they think about their quarterback situation, and maybe what they think about the 3 guys, and especially the 1 guy that they have. I mean, I think that may be an indicator of what they think. And,
Yeah. When it comes to the MLB, of course, we're inching closer and closer to the trade deadline. Nothing major has happened so far. The latest...
I think like Suarez is going to be a guy a lot of people want. Nolan Arenado from the Cardinals may be a guy a lot of people want. Then you have, obviously, the relief pitchers. The relief pitchers left and right are going to be, there'll be offers. And the Pirates, for example, Sanchez and Bednar are going to be 2 guys that they're going to get offers for. And it's going to be up to Ben Cherington as to what he perceives to be the value as to what he can get moving forward, because the Pirates are not going to make the playoffs.
There's a chance they trade Mitch Keller because he's sitting here. This is coming out from Jeff Passan. He said Keller could wind up as the best controllable starting pitcher to move. 3 years, $55 million left on his deal. And he's got a 3-10 record, but the Pirates are terrible at giving pitchers wins.
Yeah, but he can pitch.
He can pitch. So maybe Keller, Bednar, Santana.
So I think I said Sanchez, Santana.
Yeah. The Nationals are sitting there. They have Mackenzie Gore, who they could end up trading, possibly. I mean, they're sitting here with a really good team. The other guys, like the Rockies, I enjoy Jeff Passan and how he writes things. He said, Colorado Rockies all out, biggest need, talent. Chicago White Sox all out, biggest need, pretty much everything.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh Pirates, all out. Biggest need, offense. For everyone's sake, please, just a little offense.
Yeah. All right.
So.
The White Sox, I will say this. The White Sox do have pitching.
They do.
Right. They don't have a depth of it, but they do have some very good pitchers on the roster. They don't have an offense. And it's, you watch them, because I saw the White Sox play in person this year. And I mean, Colorado needs everything. I mean, they need everything. The White Sox absolutely need offense. The Pirates absolutely need offense, but they're going to have to deal their pitchers to get the offense. I mean, it's a,
May I ask you something else? Another question here. So the ACC kickoff is also going on today. And I don't think we've discussed the Tommy Castellanos stuff. The former BC quarterback who was transferring to Florida State, who made comments about Alabama before the season. He's already made a lot of comments, and he stood on this hill. I am sitting here, and personally, as a fan of sport, you should not be able to make comments unless you've actually won. Like, he's sitting here saying they don't have Nick Saban to save them. Dude, Florida State went 2-10 last year. BC wasn't great last year either. You weren't great at BC either. What are you doing? Why are you?
Castellanos is a good quarterback.
Sure.
He's not a great quarterback. He's a good quarterback. I believe he put himself in the transfer portal before the season ended.
He did.
Right? So, in other words, okay, if it's a bowl game or the Bo Perbula situation like that, but he left before the regular season was over with.
BC, by the way, finished 7-6 on the season.
Okay,
they were,
but he left after what game? Like he put his name in the portal and left the program in November before the regular season ended.
His final game with BC was after the 8th game of the season.
So guess what he did? He quit.
Yep.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay, keep your mouth shut and play.
Yeah.
Okay, because guess what? Okay, right now, to some people out there, this one is sitting in this chair right now. You're a quitter. Okay, going got tough. I'm leaving. Okay, I ain't starting. I'm departing. Okay, why don't you go in there, earn your job, and then show everybody against Alabama how good you really are instead of mouthing off right now? Because right now, all you're doing is drawing attention to yourself and the fact that after the 8th game of last season in the regular season, you quit on your team, you quit on your locker room, you quit on your head coach, you quit on your school, you left. Okay, with games still to be played in the regular season. Okay, this is not a postseason where guys go in the transfer portal when you're allowed to do so. He quit.
He also, by the way, was benched because of how bad he had performed.
Yes.
The article from ESPN, FSU, of course, bad season. They opened 4-1. They then lost 3 straight games, and then they played against Syracuse. Grayson James was the starting quarterback for that team. They beat Syracuse. Castellanos then, instead of taking the role of backup, transferred to Florida State midseason.
Right. I ain't starting, I'm departing. Yeah. I'm sorry. Who's to say something doesn't happen to the other guy? You get back out there, and all of a sudden you're back on track. I mean, come on. Okay. What you did was, okay, now you're opening your mouth. So you decide, I'm Saban to bail him out. Well, who's bailing out Boston College right now? Not you. You quit. Okay? It's not, if he transferred after the regular season in the window, no issue.
Sure.
0. That's the rule. But he left the team. So guess what? Don't talk.
He said, quote, "Them boys are coming off a 2-10 season. I just want to instill some confidence." That's not instilling confidence. That's putting a target on your back.
What's the first? In the third,
because we're sitting here with Alabama.
And guess what? In the third quarter, you're losing 31-0. You're going to quit?
Yeah. Do you think Alabama needs any motivation at all when they're playing against Florida State? No. But when we got to watch the everything with Michael Jordan, he would make things up in his head to use as motivation.
Oh, I know.
This is literally giving other players who have high motors, who don't need motivation. They're all going to sit here and say,
Oh, I know.
I want him. I want to get after him. I want to beat them down. That's what they're going to do. That's what I would do. I'm not good at football, but I would do that.
I mean,
Like, you are setting yourself up for disaster.
if you okay. To me, the first thing he has to do is win his locker room.
Mm-hmm.
Because guess what? I'm sitting in that locker room after what he pulled at BC. I'm a skeptic.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay? Obviously, what he did was wrong. And I have no idea what his conversation was with Bill O'Brien. I can guarantee you on the Bill O'Brien side, it was blunt.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
Okay. Bill was blunt with him.
Mm-hmm.
But just don't talk, right? Get up there and say, just get up there and say, hey, I love my teammates. They're great. It's been an incredible experience. He said, I can't wait to play Alabama with this team around me. Mm-hmm. Right? Can't wait to do it. It should be great. It should be a great game.
There's nothing we can't do.
Right? It should be a great game.
Exactly. But instead, you're like, they don't have Nick Saban to save them. What are we doing? Sometimes I wonder. I sometimes think, do people think about what they say before they say it? And sometimes, clearly, they don't.
No, stop thinking. You only hurt the ball club.
Yeah.
Hey, it's about where we are. But again, hey, there is an open window to do this for a process. If you enter during the open window, you're not going to get any complaint from me whatsoever. Mm-hmm. Zero. But you walk out and you quit on your team, which he did, you're not going to garner any respect from me. None. Okay?
Mm-hmm. It's sometimes things get crazy, and I have so many questions.
No, again, I have no, for example, all the guys that we're talking about that are transfer quarterbacks in the league, for example. I mean,
Carson Beck is at Miami now.
Carson Beck, but he did it during the window after he got hurt. Right? Preston Stone is probably going to be the quarterback at Northwestern. Well, guess what? He was the backup quarterback in the playoff game with Penn State at SMU after being the starter. He was the starter at the beginning of the year. Jennings replaced him, and Stone didn't quit. He didn't quit.
Yeah.
Right? You've got guys left and right in this league that are playing, that are transfer quarterbacks. We know that. Penn State will close the year with Rutgers. Callie McManus did not quit in the middle of the year at Minnesota and then leave. He waited till it was over, then he transferred. Okay. Right. The South Dakota State quarterback is going to Iowa. He didn't leave South Dakota State in the lurch. He did it the right way. This kid did not do it the right way in any way, shape, or form. So please, okay? If I'm sitting there and I am, was it Mike Norvell's or I pull him aside and just, will you shut up?
Just stop talking.
Okay.
Stop saying words, please, dear God. And I don't know. It's some things hurt my brain, and that was one that hurts my brain. Well, tomorrow, it'll be a fun day. You'll be at the Spikes. You'll be there hanging out.
Yes,
no Jerry
I will.
Valeri in sight.
Yes, it's going to be Super Splash Day. I'm expecting increased attendance because the vast majority of the staff there will be fully clothed.
That they will be.
As opposed to when Jerry's there, where you just you try to tell people that is it one of the goals of the ball club to increase attendance?
And then Friday you will have Mr. Jason Lord here on the show with us.
There we go.
A little 49ers action for you, just for you.
Are they going to training camp?
Thank you for listening to Sports Talk with Steve Jones, a 7 Mountain Media production. Come back at 11 every weekday for analysis of the latest happening in the sports landscape. From college football to European soccer, Steve and Kyle cover it all on Sports Talk with Steve Jones.